Chapter 30, Sunny Side Up. He had never been so frightened in his life. Never. The woman's face was monstrous. Her hair was monstrous, and the word on her name tag, Rita, appeared monstrous too. To him too. Be calm, he told himself, as she poked her pencil around. He held himself as still as he could. But then Rita screamed, and it was absolutely impossible not to answer her along. Piercing screech, with a piercing screech of his own. She screamed, he screamed, and then every one of his animal instincts kicked in. He acted without thinking. He tried to escape. He leaped from the box and ended up, somehow, exactly where he did not want to be, in the middle of the monstrous hair. Rita jumped up and down. She put her hands on her head. She swatted and clawed, trying to dislodge him. The harder she hit him, the higher she jumped, and more fiercely the squirrel clung. In this way, Rita and Ulysses danced together around the giant donut. "What's happening?" someone shouted. "Her hair's on fire," someone answered. No, there's something in her hair," another person shouted, "and it's alive!" "Ah!" screamed Rita. "Help me!" How, Ulysses wondered, had things gone so wrong? Only moments ago he had been looking at the giant donut menu, captivated by the glossy pictures of the food and the dazzling descriptions that acquainted the pictures. There were giant donuts and sprinkles, giant donut powdered icing, giant donuts filled with things, jelly, cream, chocolate. He had never had a giant donut. Actually, he had never had any kind of donut. They looked delicious, all of them. How was a squirrel to choose? And to complicate matters, there were eggs, scrambled, poached, and over easy, sunny side up. Sunny side up, thought Ulysses as he clung to Rita's hair. What a wonderful phrase. A man emerged from the kitchen. He had a gigantic white hat, and he was holding something metal that flashed in the overhead lights of the giant donut. It was a knife. "Help me!" screamed Rita. "And me," thought Ulysses. "Help me too." But he was quite certain that the man with the knife had no intention of helping him. And then he heard Flora's voice. He couldn't see her because Rita was now spinning around and everything in the restaurant had become somewhat blurred. All the faces had become one face. All the screams had become one scream. But Flora's voice stood out. It was the voice of a person he loved. He concentrated on her words. He worked to understand her. "Ulysses!" she shouted. "Ulysses, remember who you are!" Remember who he was? Who was he? As Flora had heard his unspoken question, she answered him. "You're Ulysses!" "That's right," he thought. "I am." "Act!" shouted Flora. This was good advice. Flora was absolutely right. He was Ulysses, and he must act. The man with the knife stepped towards Rita. Ulysses loosened his hold on her hair. He leaped again. This time, he leaped with purpose and intent. He leaped with all his strength. He flew!